Hello and welcome to the Matt Ligor Show. The Matt Ligor Show is about business, entrepreneurism, inspiration, all those things, sometimes wrapped all together as one, sometimes separately. But those are the things I like to talk about. I have people on my show who are up to those things, people on the show who are inspirational to me, people on the show who are my friends. It doesn't matter. I have people on who I find interesting, and I hope you do too. Now, as we're filming the show today, it is June 22nd, which is the day after the first day of summer. It's also the last day of school in North Reading, and time of graduations and all that stuff that goes on this time of year. The air is filled with so much optimism and so much hope and so much excitement, as it should. It's the beginning of summer, and in New England, summer, it doesn't last that long. And I can't help but think about how I used to feel at that time, and I used to feel so excited. One thing I never liked was that the longest day of the year was the first day of summer. It always felt to me like the longest day of the year should be the last day of summer in celebration. But it's the way the calendar works. It has nothing to do with what I think, but that's the way I used to feel, which used to then roll me into sort of a negative thought of, boy, summer's going to be over before you know it, and we're going to be back in school, and quickly, summer was over, and that optimism would evaporate. Now, it kind of made me think about life and how life can feel that way too. Like when you're a kid, life is great, life is fun. You graduate from high school or you graduate from college. The whole world is in front of you. So many great things you're going to do, so many things you want to be, and time goes on and you lose that light a bit. And, how do you recapture it? And is there anything wrong with feeling that way? Is it natural? Is it something that happens? I think that however you feel, you generate that. If you feel badly, you generate it. If you feel happy, you're generating that too. So today on my show, I have one of my very best friends. We've been friends for many years. He's also been a mentor to me. He listens to my problems. He gives me advice, always good advice. My friend, Popp. Hack, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Matt. Great to be with you today.
Was that a good introduction?
That was fantastic. I mean, just filled with enthusiasm, and I don't know. Did you invite me because I'm like one of the oldest people you know? Is that?
Yeah, you're the oldest person I know. Yeah, the oldest person I know, and I wanted everyone to see you.
Well, thanks for having me.
No, but seriously, you've been a great friend to me. We met about 20 years ago, and we immediately hit it off. It was like that.
Yeah.
You agree? It was just like that.
It's always been like that.
And we have a lot in common. And one of the things that has been great for me is, since you are a few years older than me, you've kind of been through something that I might be starting to go through, and you can kind of talk me through it. You can kind of like say, you know what, it's really going to be all right. I went through that too, And by the way, I want you to know, it always has helped. It always made me feel like, I remember one time I was having a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and you broke it down so fast for me. You were like, this was when let's see, you just got married, you bought a house, you're having a baby. Yeah, those things, you just started your new business. Those things are very stressful. That's probably what's going on.
And all of those things in North Reading, by the way.
Yes.
So it was, quite a coincidence. And I didn't know you were paying attention, to tell you the truth.
I know it doesn't seem like I listen, which I'd say half the time I don't, but the other half of the time I do. But no, I am paying attention.
Well, I'm sure you know this, but I just turned 70 within the past 6 months. It was in February.
Congratulations. You look like $1 million.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to see my chiropractor this afternoon, and I have an appointment with an eye doctor next week. But, that kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I feel great. Mm-hmm. I really feel great. And I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
And I think I had mentioned to you, and this is just a possibility. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to maintain possibility. So I think when you get jammed into something and you feel like there's no way out, you only have, that's when work becomes drudgery, mm-hmm. Day to day and so forth. I think it's important to stretch out a little bit and look at other opportunities and possibilities. So anyway, I don't know. I don't even know where it came from, but recently I got this idea that I could live in an RV or a travel trailer as a possibility. You know, I don't know if I'm going to do this, but as soon as I got that idea, I thought, wouldn't that be great? And I really started feeling enthusiastic. So whether or not I do it, I think it's just good to investigate these other possibilities. So the idea would be just to really kind of divest myself of all my things and hit the road with my wonderful other half, Mila. And basically, we could travel and come back a couple times a year, maybe more, I don't know. But stay on the road. And the interesting thing is I've been on YouTube. I've been staying up way too late watching YouTube videos. And there are people who do this. And they just go from place to place. Some of them stay in a place for 6 months. Some of them just stay overnight here and there. And, you know, you might have a larger goal. So one of my goals is to, you know, I want to go see the Grand Canyon. I guess everybody does. So I want to do that and then head out to the West Coast, maybe go up to Canada. And so I've been thinking about that. And I think we're going to give it a try this summer and maybe go out in an RV for a week. And then maybe in the winter we'll go out for a month or something. So maybe give that a try.
So I want to ask you a question. So you're 70 years old. You came up with this idea, hit you, a light bulb went off. All right. The first impulse to you wasn't like, oh, I'm too old for this, right?
Oh, no.
No. So it was like, this is a great idea. And you got excited. You said it got you kind of like your blood pumping.
Yeah.
Now, you know, just a little background on you. It's not like you've been a single guy your whole life and just experiencing things. You're a businessman. You own a business. You have 4 kids, right?
4 kids.
Yeah, all adults.
3 grandchildren.
Yep.
And another one on the way. So actually, this is probably the biggest part of the problem, if you will. So the problem is I like my life too much the way it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm pretty happy. I like where I live. I live not far from here in Middleton. And, you know, we've got our bird feeders over there. I have a motorcycle in the shed. We take the motorcycle out every now and then. I have my business, home inspections, and really enjoy that. I have a lot of friends in the industry, realtors that I know, and people that I've done home inspections for and so forth. And I love that. Not to mention my family. I've got 4 really terrific kids. My youngest guy, Eric, is graduating from law school next year. My 2 daughters have great careers. They're both business school graduates. And my oldest son lives in Andover, and he's got 2 boys, and he works with me. He's a home inspector. And, you know, we just all get along great. There's no drama. There's no problems. This is just a lot of love and really terrific. And my 2 grandsons are in sports. Lucas, the 7-year-old, he's going to be playing 50 hockey games next year. He's been playing hockey for a couple of years. The other one's just coming along playing soccer and baseball. And my granddaughter, Penny, is just a delight. Top of it all, Rachel, my oldest daughter, is having a little boy in the fall. So there you go.
That's wonderful.
So it's hard to just say, oh, yeah, I think I'll just leave town forever.
Yeah, just go on a trip. Just I'll be back whenever.
Yeah.
Right?
So, you know, it's just an idea.
Yeah.
But it's got my blood going.
Yeah. So, but that's what we're talking about. Like, you're 70 years old. I'm 50, going to be 51. I think it's easy to get complacent in life and just say, I can't, right? I can't do that. But how do you like go? How do you keep yourself like in a good frame of mind, all right, as the years roll by? Because it's easy to go, oh my God, what's happening?
Well, that's really a good question, and I don't know that there's a real answer. I don't have any formulas. I'm just still trying to work it all out. And maybe that's part of it. That's part of what I think keeps people youthful, to not get stuck in an idea when you think you know everything, whatever it is. I've just been curious about things my whole life. I don't have the answers for anybody, really. And even for myself, I've just tried a lot of different things. I think my sister Nancy posted something on Facebook yesterday that I thought was really very interesting. And it was two circles. There's a little circle, let's say a little circle the size of a dime, and another circle maybe the size of a softball.
Yeah.
And the circle, the size of a dime, inside it was written, your comfort zone, the size of a dime. And the softball, inside that softball-sized circle, it says, where the magic happens. So, you know, that comfort zone can be really limiting. And I'm inclined to, I could very easily spend most of my life in my very comfortable recliner, which isn't that far from the refrigerator. And I could watch CNN and just yell at the TV all day. I mean, I think I could probably do that. The problem is it's just not very satisfying. And I've done it for periods of time, believe me. It's not the best way to live. So the alternative, I believe, is to, you have to step outside that comfort zone and step into that area where the magic happens, I guess, you know. And one way I do that is I don't listen to myself all the time. So if I were to listen to myself, I wouldn't speak to strangers. I definitely would not be on your show.
Yeah.
And this afternoon I'm going to a seminar. It's a 3-day retreat out in Barre, Massachusetts at the Barre Center for Buddhist Studies. Now, I've never been to anything exactly like that. I've done a lot of other things in my life, as you know, but this is something new to me. And the reason I'm doing it is the same reason that I'm here today, and it's because a friend asked me to. And I am inclined to say, no thanks to most things, but sometimes you just have to step out of your comfort zone. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, and this seminar that I'm going to, incidentally, is entitled, I believe it's called Moving Forward, Wisdom and Aging.
Yeah.
So it's about, you know, getting old.
Yeah.
And I think there's, I think if you want it to be interesting, you have to engage it. So, you know, everybody, if you're lucky enough to get old, and let's face it, we all know people who haven't been so fortunate to get old, and you know, there's a lot of people, maybe they have serious health issues or whatever. So I think you really have to, you have to be grateful. Just have a lot of gratitude for where you are, and be willing to try new things.
Now, you had said, we talked a little bit before, how, you know, growing old, you can look at it and say, this is terrible. Or one of the things you said was, it's just what happens. It's just life. This is just progression, just moving forward, right?
Exactly. So it's going to happen one way or another.
Yeah.
And along with it, you know, I've been wearing glasses for reading since, geez, I guess it was probably about 40. And but I just wear them when I'm reading. And now it turns out I think I'm going to need like real glasses, and I'm going to see the eye doctor next week. But there you go. So you make those kind of adjustments.
Yeah.
And speaking of adjustments, I'm going to the chiropractor this afternoon. He does a terrific job and gets me straightened out. But, you know, sometimes we need a little extra help to get along. These things happen. And it really, I believe it's just your approach to these things. I think, for me, one of the things that's really worked in my life, probably more than anything I'd say, is acceptance. And what I mean by that is things are what they are. However, you do have an opportunity to, let's say, put it in perspective. So whatever it is, that's what it is. If you can rebel all you want, or you can get angry about it all you want, but it's still the way that it is. And I think that that for me, I really stay stuck when I'm like that.
Yeah.
When I embrace things and just engage it, and I seem to be able to move ahead. So
I have to agree with that very much. It's like one of the things that's hard, obviously, is when you look in the mirror and you don't look like you did 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Everybody wants to look.
Speak for yourself. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just
all right.
saying.
Oh, let me just speak for myself. No, but like
No, I understand,
You're not
yeah.
25. I'm not 25 anymore, and you can't. No matter how much you dye your hair and shoot Botox and get whatever you do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of that stuff, but you're never going to be 25 again. So you have to age gracefully with acceptance. But you should take care of yourself too, though. That's important. You can't just you can't just say, oh, what can I do?
Right.
Now, that can lead us into our next segue, because what is one thing that I can say every, but the majority of people deal with is like, how do I lose some weight? I want to get into shape. Now, I know that you had that struggle for many years. You, though, have had like 2 very successful, solid years of bettering yourself, right? So you were how much?
A lot.
A lot. You were
Quite
a lot.
Well,
But seriously, how much weight have you lost? Oh, you lost it, by the way, in how long?
well, it'll be 2 years in July.
That you've kept it off.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
embarked on this adventure here, and trying to drop some weight 2 years ago in July, and now it's the middle of June. But I came to a point where I had 2 pairs of pants left.
Yeah.
And one of them had holes in it.
Yeah. Okay.
So they were like work pants, good pants, that was it. The rest of them didn't fit me. I had plenty of pants, lots and lots of pants. So anybody who gains weight and goes up and down and stuff, they have a lot of pants, because you always have pants that don't fit you.
Yep.
And but I got to that point where I had 2 left, and there were these Eddie Bauer pants with the elastic waistband, and they were just I was maxed out. And I just said, wow, I've had it with this. And so I was going to embark on my usual low carb adventure, where I always had some success, but always put it back on. Anyway, Mila, and we knew some people that had done Weight Watchers. So just to give the I'm just going to mention it by name because I liked it so much. But she said, why don't you go to Weight Watchers? I said, I don't know. She said, I'll go with you. I said, okay, great. So we went to a meeting. And at that meeting, it was a Sunday morning, and there was a young woman, and she happened to share that she had lost 45 pounds. And I thought, wow, if I could do that, that'd be a miracle. That would be absolutely incredible. And I said, geez, I'd love to do that. So anyway, they have the technology. It's, it's actually pretty simple. We follow the program. Basically, we eat a lot of fresh food.
Yeah.
We don't eat stuff out of a box anymore.
Yeah.
Very few cans.
So fresh food is fresh meats,
salads, vegetables, fresh meat,
Yeah.
fish, and in proportion.
Yeah.
And you kind of track what you eat, which sounds like a real burden and a problem.
It does. It sounds so incredibly boring.
Honestly, it's simple.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the results are amazing, because I've lost 45 pounds.
Yeah.
So my goal was to lose 50 pounds. So this is how I can be about it, okay? Basically, I lost that in the first year, 45 pounds.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Excellent.
But my goal has been to lose 50. So I get down pretty close to it, and then I go up, and then, so basically I've been maintaining. And sometimes I look at that and I go, geez, I just can't seem to get down to that goal. And then it occurs to me, hey, guess what? You lost 45 pounds. You got lots of pants that fit you now, and you feel great. So it's been a tremendous success. I enjoy the people. It's much better than I ever dreamed. It's just been great.
There is that that unexpected satisfaction that comes from losing weight. There's also that unexpected satisfaction that comes from when you eat properly. You feel so much better, because I know that when I'm stressed, I start thinking about, like, I'm going to eat this. I think I'm going to have that, and the whole satisfaction is in the thinking about it. Once you eat it, minutes later, usually you don't feel good, because it's not usually a very good choice, or you eat too much. So now there's a tremendous dissatisfaction afterwards. Now, when you eat properly and you eat healthy, it tastes good and you feel so good afterwards. So it's actually the opposite effect of what you think it's going to be. Like when you're eating out of discomfort, you think it's going to make you feel better, it makes you feel worse. But you think that if I eat healthy in proportion, I won't feel good. But you do.
It does. It just seems like this is another example of, for me, stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, did I want to go to a Weight Watchers meeting?
No, you were a complete no for that.
I was a complete zero, but I was also a complete no for, I didn't want to buy the next size larger pants. I just said no. So really, I mean, that's what it was for me. I had to do that.
So wait, I want to ask you a question. Let's just go back a second. Now, we all know Weight Watchers works. We know that South Beach diet works. We know that low carb. We know all those diets work. Diet, exercise, it's very simple, right? Mentally, though, that's what it is. You get a reason. Something clicks in your head, and you go, I want to do something. Now, Weight Watchers wasn't your choice. It was suggestion to you. All right? So you got to a point where you had 2 pairs of pants left. You didn't want to get the next size up. You probably just didn't even want to buy big pants anymore, right?
Obviously, there's a lot more to this than 2 pairs of pants.
Right.
But yeah, that was
so
kind of...
that's what I just want to talk about just for a second.
Yeah.
Because your commitment isn't because you only had 2 pairs of pants left. It was one thing, and it's funny. It's a good story.
Yeah.
But you decided, like it wasn't the first time you tried to lose weight, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was always like a goal, a weight loss goal for you? 10 pounds, 15 pounds? Because to me, in my mind, I'm always like, I want to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who's trying to drop some weight, if you lose 10, 15 pounds, it's just, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
The other part of this is I started walking.
Yeah.
So you have to get up and move. And I didn't want to do that either. So, I mean, I really didn't want, and I've done it in the past. I used to run, years ago. And then I stopped, and that was that. But I ran regularly for probably 30 years.
Yeah.
So I started walking, and I walked 5 miles. I'm out there for an hour and a half, and I don't do it every day. I did do it every day. Now, maybe a couple times a week or something like that. It depends on my schedule. And I've been busy with work lately, so other things. That happens, but the other thing is you can get right back into it. The problem, you said anybody, when you're talking about the diets and so forth, they all work. But I'm not so sure about that. I think that people have the best of intentions, and you can get on board with some kind of a program and say, great, I'm gonna do this for a while. But I am very reluctant to admit, now I'm better at it now, but I'm originally very reluctant to admit I need help and I need support. And for a guy, any guy probably, sometimes it's hard to admit that.
Yeah.
I went through that with, just to digress for a minute. I don't want to confess all my sins here, but years ago I used to drink a lot.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a drink in almost 40 years. And I'm not just taking all the credit for that. I mean, that was a problem years ago. And, I got that out of the way. So, there's another way to look at this. You might say, wow, how can this guy have any fun? He doesn't drink. He doesn't go out for fried clams anymore.
All his food.
I feel pretty good. I ride my motorcycle. I walk. I play golf. I joined a golf league.
Yeah.
Playing golf a couple times a week. I work every day and enjoy my work. My work's physical.
Yeah.
And enjoy playing with my grandchildren.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little too much. That's why I'm going to the chiropractor.
Yeah, right.
They were over at the house for Father's Day, and you know, I think that I can still do circus tricks with them.
Yeah.
So standing on my shoulders, two of them, all that stuff. Well, it's just a bad idea, but I seem to forget.
Oh, you suffered a little injury, but let's go. But that's a good point, though. Is like you're vibrant. You're working every day, playing with your grandkids, lost the weight, you feel good, and you're having a great time. Completely contrary to what, say, 40 years ago you thought was a good time, right?
Oh, you're absolutely different. And we go to our Weight Watchers meeting on Sunday mornings. And it's like church, you know. We just go. It's a half hour. We've made a lot of friends there, and it's it's just going there. I can't tell you exactly how it works. You could guess and say, oh, it's about the support, whatever it is. Let me just say it's something that actually works, because I think the statistics say most people who lose any weight don't keep it off.
No.
And then the chances of you keeping off weight for more than a year are almost minuscule. And so this is something that works pretty well.
But wouldn't you say there's a little spirituality in there? There's something spiritual about the whole thing we're talking about here. Like, I know you kind of joke said it's like, when I say spiritual, I don't mean like religious, but there has to be something more than just physicality in life. That's why people turn to things to make them feel better. They'll eat too much, they'll drink too much, they'll gamble, they'll do all the things that they think will make them feel better, but there has to be some sort of like inner like peace that comes over you that you can keep weight off for 2 years. That you can feel good, that you can have an idea to go and, hey, I want to get an RV and go across the country, right? I mean, am I right or am I wrong? I mean, tell me.
Well, I would tend to agree. I think that for me, that's almost like a whole other subject, and I have a lot of interest in those things. I'm not a religious person, but I believe, I think I'm probably belong to the Church of Empathy, where I think it's important to treat people right. I've done the best I can, and I think everyone should really do that.
Yeah, not a lot of empathy in this day and age.
No, it doesn't seem to be. It's
at least not on the surface.
It's discouraging.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of fear.
Sure.
And I don't know if those two things can coexist. I think sometimes you have to be open.
Yeah.
I think it's better to be open. I'm sure some people might disagree with that, but I think the more open and accepting you are, I think the better you're going to be. And
well, this will be our next show. We're going to segue into that next show. This show is all about
fantastic.
Hack Popp and his transformational weight loss. What else? What other things, like, would you say, like, give you great happiness? Actually, you know what? What would you say, like, your purpose is at this point in your life?
I'd like to improve my golf game.
Okay, good. Yeah.
My purpose is really, I feel fulfilled because I've got such wonderful children and grandchildren. I love my life with Mila. We're just very happy together. We're just very fortunate. After I've just done a lot of things over the course of my lifetime, and I feel that at this time, I'm really enjoying things the way they are, and I'm open to new possibilities.
Well, you are definitely the happiest I've ever known you. So you are always making the step forward, step up. You're an inspiration to me. You really are. You're a great friend. And I want to thank you for being on my show today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
It's always great to be with you.
All right. Well, this brings to a conclusion another Matt Ligor show. You can check me out on YouTube, The Matt Ligor Show on YouTube. I have other episodes there. You can also go to mattligor.com, which will bring you to my Facebook page, where I have other stories and other things there. So I want to thank you for watching The Matt Ligor Show. We'll see you next time.